This week on In the Field, I'm going back to one of my favorite places, La Jolla, California. Welcome back to In the Field. My name is Scott Davenport, and this is a little series where I take you with me on some of my photo shoots and share the thought process that's going through my head. You know, when I'm on scene, what do I see? Why am I choosing to do certain things? And hopefully as a result of all this, we all become better photographers. So I went back to La Jolla, middle of the week. Now that it's getting closer to summer and the evening light is longer, I'm getting out for some mid-week sunset shoots, which is nice. It's a nice treat to be able to do that. And on this particular outing, as I was driving toward the ocean, I had a different place in mind, but based on what I saw on the horizon, I changed my plan just right there on the fly and drove to La Jolla instead, because the horizon looked like it was going to have a break in it. There was a lot of cloud cover, but with a lot of cloud cover on top and then a small break at the horizon, that can give brilliant sunsets. So let's go out to the beach and I'll show you some of the footage from the shoot and then come talk about one of the images I came away with. So here's San Diego, and my favorite little spot of La Jolla is just to the north of it. Grab a little button. We can see I'm on this edge of the coast here. And the sun's coming in from the northwest, roughly 45-degree angle. And I know in this area of the coast, if I switch over to the maps here, San Diego, La Jolla, it's got some nice rock formations. Some of them point in the direction of the sunset, some away from the sunset. If I zoom in here a little bit further, and right down in here, this is Wind and Sea Beach, and this is where I went. And I actually walked down, let's see, I guess it was the stairwell that's right over here. There we go. Came down to this spot of the beach and just perched up on one of the rocks. And so with the sun coming in from this angle, so I'm turned here. This might have been my rock right here. But I'm about this spot here and just shooting off into the distance, letting the ocean be smooth, and the sky being really the star of the show.
But it is a cool evening in La Jolla and very overcast, but on my drive down here, I was watching the sky. You notice that at the horizon, it's kind of bright. As I was driving down here, I changed up where I decided to come, so I had some more options for shooting. On the south side of the beach, I've got this tiki hut here, so if the sun gets blocked out, we've got a foreground interest. And right now, on this side, the sun's looking really nice, some nice clouds, a couple of rocks here for the foreground. So I'm going to set up starting here and see if this clear horizon holds. If it does, we should get some really, really good color in the clouds. I perched myself up on a rock to give myself a little protection from the incoming tide. I shouldn't get too high while I'm here, so the 2 to 3 feet I'm up should be enough. So I'm set up framed up about like this. Here's the view exactly through the camera. And yeah, this is turning out to be really, really nice. There's some nice golden color on the horizon already. The waves are swirling around these foreground rocks. I'm kind of using my second rock here in the frame as my focal point. And now just waiting about a half hour before the sun goes down entirely. Here's one of the test shots, shooting at f8. And I've got the exposure compensation bumped up to almost 2 stops. So I get more drag on the shutter and let more of the light in, because otherwise it's coming out too dark. The sky is still pretty dark. That's going to change as conditions change. Just a few more moments away from sunset. Oh, big wave coming. Hold on. That was pretty close. But I've changed the camera up to shoot at f16 so that I can drag the shutter a little longer. And also I want to get more depth of field so I can get some of the texture in those clouds in the shot as well. I still am overexposing by about 1 stop, and that's really so I can have the histogram spread out a little bit more, trying to bump it up to the right edge, but not blowing any of the highlights except for where the sun is directly coming through those clouds.
So you might have noticed that the preview on my camera was really, really blue, and that didn't match what you saw in the video footage. And that's because I had my white balance on my camera set to daylight. And that wasn't intentional. I must have fat-fingered something on the thumb wheel or something on the back of the camera. But that doesn't really matter to me. I shoot raw, and so I'll adjust white balance once I'm back in post. And it's exactly what I did when I processed one of these images. So here's an image that I came away with from the shoot, and yeah, I like it. It came out quite nice. I didn't get that brilliant sunset that I was hoping for, but the fact that there was so much clouds in the sky, really made the image much more about that. And if you're really observant on the far, the far right edge, a couple of people had just walked out onto one of the rocks there, and there's a very small silhouette of two people, and that adds just a little extra sense of scale to the image. So that was a nice surprise. So the tip of the week, it's a little selfish one. It's check out my 10 tips on shooting seascapes books. When I did this shot, I used at least 4 of them. There was, let's see I got the numbers here. Certainly used 6 and 9, and I think I also used 3 in this shot alone. And take a look at the book. It's $4.99. It's not going to break the bank, but I think it's going to give you a lot of value for that and taking your seascape shots to the next level. So that is it for this week in the field. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd love if you could share this with a friend. Spread the word. I've heard from many of you that you like this series, and that helps me keep doing it. And keep your questions coming in, or at least keep your comments coming in. Any of those positive vibes will be really helpful. So until next time, get out there, shoot some, share your work, give me a shout somewhere in social media land, and I'll see you again soon.